All right, Kaylin, let's look at your paper MLA format first. That is good. All of this is good. The torturous mind, I don't know. It's okay. It relates to your disease, but maybe not so much Macbeth. I don't know. It definitely could be worked on. So I really like this quote that you start off with. Um, so really good way to start off. But then your follow-up, one may never know what it's like to feel this unless they experience. What is this? Um, be specific. This constant fight, this constant turmoil, whatever. A person that feels this way might be diagnosed with this. You got a space issue here. Now, when you bring up Macbeth, you got to bring up the author and the play too. So, in Macbeth by William Shakespeare, Macbeth could have OCD. Now, here's the other problem. Could have. You're going to write a whole paper on how he does have OCD. So don't say he could have OCD with all of these things. Now, is this... Okay, so these are your main points that you're going to bring up. Yet you're going to bring them up down here too. So I would just bring up in this that Macbeth suffers from these OCD symptoms throughout the play and something about how they affect him. So these are just a few that he showed. You don't have to write that. You definitely don't have to write all this because you're not talking about it anyway, so why bring it up? The only thing that you maybe could bring up is if you wanted to move this up here as a way of saying, people who suffer from this suffer this way. Macbeth, though, suffers by this, something like that. Okay? Or this stuff is good, but could it be used right up here as far as he could have OCD and it started at the beginning when this stuff started to happen, something like that. So here's your thesis statement, which you bring up again all your main points, which makes it redundant to bring them up here too. That let his sovereignty overpowers one word, his warm-heartedness. Yes, hopefully you dig deeper in the body paragraphs because this is a little bit too much factual. So we'll hopefully, when we look at your body paragraphs, it's not so factual when we get done. All right, so you have a lot of setting up the topic in here, but your topic sentence should revolve around the idea that Macbeth suffered from this and what it did to him. So while this is good information, I'd still want to see a topic sentence that revolves around Macbeth's symptom and what that looks like. So he lost sleep thinking about murdering Duncan, and you use a quote in here. That's good. And then you jump into not only did he do this, he allowed his desires to reign influence his actions. So there's the thesis. The ambitious desire to be king on the way when he chose to kill whoever was ahead of him. Now, if there was like one more sentence here that kind of tied in the idea of sleeplessness again, that deprivation of sleep, that would make it that much stronger, Kaylin. If you could put one more sentence right there that would just tie in the idea of sleeplessness, because you're gonna tell me these symptoms, made him do this. So how did it make him do it? You just need one more sentence, I feel like, right there to figure that out. You have a good transition statement here. While these interactions, evil intentions occur, comma, he finds himself worrying, blah, 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 blah. So fix that. And there was one more mistake up here that you could fix. These thoughts drive people insane, comma, causing them to lose sleep and making them mentally strained. So you want to reword that as well. All right, on to our next paragraph about apprehension. All right, so with this line, you don't need a comma there. It's kind of an embedded quote. Studies show that, quote, 97%, ... most of the time people have the fear of failing. In Macbeth's case, comma, he wanted a perfect death of Banquo's son. So they're wrong. That influences impulsive reactions, say the guards. So that's good. That he's making a terrible choice because of his need to have things perfect. And I would also add in, even Banquo, he has that need to have things perfect, but yet it doesn't go that way. And he makes terrible choices because of that, because immediately after it doesn't go right, he starts talking about going to the witches. He starts, understand that he's spying on Macduff. So there's also that you could wrap into that. Because I don't think this tie into the thesis is as strong in here. This is kind of almost just a restatement of the thesis. It's not adding on to it at all. So I think there's a couple more things that you could talk about in there. Can lead us to go insane, no comma, and cause us to imagine seeing things that others don't see. Remember, only comma conjunction when you have two independent clauses here. So make sure you understand that. I would also go back, Kaylin, as you keep going throughout this, go back and think about your topic sentences. This is technically your topic sentence, but just like the first body paragraph, it's not strong about what you're actually proving in here. And if you could make that topic sentence stronger, your thesis connection down here will also be stronger, because this is going to lead into this. So, and your topic sentence doesn't have to be at the beginning of this paragraph, but certainly it helps it kind of format it and work your way down. All right, so you have good outside sources. No colon here, such as hearing voices. This is just one long list. It's not introducing it necessarily. It's just one long list, which is good. He's speaking some of these. And I like how you, in this one, you didn't take a long time to go through here. Like, because I've already read the play and you're assuming the reader's already read the play, all you do is just say, all right, he did this, he did this, he did this, and this is how it, affected him, so on and so forth. That's what you need to do. To kind of get to the point quicker, maybe add in a quote, something like that. Speaking of which, after killing Duncan, he hears someone say that he, quote, murdered sleep. That's a pretty specific quote from the play, so you're going to want to put quotes around that and cite it. All of these contribute to his downfall because he let the need to be king lead him to be stressed, causing him to hallucinate. He didn't take the time to relax and think his plans through. Instead, so here's a run-on sentence. Instead, he just fell into the idea of choosing atrocious decisions. So this is a little bit better about getting into the topic more than the last paragraphs. Letting one's thoughts get to them can cause doubt in the way they are doing things. So now we're going to get into the doubt paragraph. But a little bit better on the thesis that time around, but maybe just clean up a couple of the other things in that paragraph. All right, this is probably your weakest paragraph, Kaylin. So this is about doubt, which is actually, this should be a really good topic to talk about. They tend to have, after one person does something that they are suspicious of, they tend to have apprehension and a need for consolation. They'll question their actions and often ask others if they're doing the right thing. All right, so we got the idea of doubt in. In the beginning of the play, Macbeth asked Lady Macbeth if killing Duncan was the right way to go about their scheme. So you have one sentence here. Now in the last sentence when I told you it was good that you were kind of moving through things, this one I'm going to tell you the opposite. Slow down, okay? Because you're not really taking the time to dive into these. Whereas the last paragraph, I felt like these examples were all the same. He sees things, right? This one is a little bit different. Like, what does this doubt about what he's doing at the beginning actually do to him? What does his doubt about the witch's prophecies the second time around actually do to him? What does his doubt of the two murderers do to him as far as what does it prove about him? Because all you have at the end is that they often need to be told that the decision in fact is correct, but nobody tells them that the murderer's decision is correct. Nobody tells them that the tree decision is correct. You know what I mean? Like the prophecies were correct. So I don't know if that really explains that. But I think it's the doubt, this one right here. This doubt is what I would really love you to focus on, because I think you can do a lot about the doubt that he has at the beginning of the play when he thinks about killing, because that is the biggest example of that. And if that's the case, if you focus on just this, move this whole paragraph to the very first body paragraph, because it'll make it chronological if you just focus on that. This is saucy doubts and fears, S-A-U-C-E-Y, to saucy doubts and fears. When you fix that, if you even keep that in your rewrite. All right, so now on to our conclusion. All right, Kaylin, you do a really good job of repeating your thesis. Going through your main points is really good. Then let's get to the end here. Let me back up. Along with other symptoms Macbeth had, he also doubted things I would put like a comma, especially his prophecy and that killing people to be king was acceptable, something like that. All right, the battle that Macbeth faced wasn't only physical, no comma, but also mentally. It drained him to his very last breath. Even though Macbeth's OCD tendencies drained him, he didn't give up. Whatever battle one may face, don't give up. Battle until the end. So this is a run-on sentence. You need to break this up somehow. Now, is it still fair to say that he shouldn't give up even though he killed a bunch of people as a byproduct of that? I'm not sure that's the greatest message that we need at the end there about not giving up. Be like Macbeth. Don't give up and just kill people. Probably not what you're looking for. All right, so works cited needs to be at the very top, but everything in here is exactly the way that it should be. So good job with your works cited page. You just need to move it up here to make it correct. All right, Kaylin, I think you hopefully know where you need to go now with fixing this up and making it stronger topic sentences, stronger connections to that thesis, and really maybe focusing on certain examples instead of too many, that kind of idea. But hopefully we'll see a rewrite and make it even stronger.